Hey, it's Jason Linett, and we're talking hypnotic business systems. And I'm here with Dan Ross. Dan, how are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. And for those that don't yet know you, could you briefly introduce yourself, please?
Yes, so I am the director of the Silicon Valley Hypnosis Center. And of course, we're located in Silicon Valley. And I'm a specialist for stress, anxiety, and resolving traumatic memories and stuff like that. And I also am a master practitioner in NLP, so I use that with my clients as well.
Excellent. I know we were chatting just before we hopped on, as we're telling stories from people who are inside of the business program. You had an interesting perspective about the entire system as a whole. Could you share that, please?
Yeah, well, my perspective, I go in there and I use the materials in there, and my thought is it's not fair what Jason does, and really I think it's not fair to him because you know you pay once, which if you're used to other models, you pay and pay, pay a big usually fee up front, then you pay every month, and this I just paid him once a couple years ago, and he's still putting really high quality content in there. So yeah, that's why I think it's not fair, but
Well, I did that. There's a model that I live by of just launching with raving fans that, yes, we keep adding new stuff to it. And yet then the people who are already in it get those additional materials as well, which the whole mindset of the more we're all successful, the more we're all successful in raising the bar in this profession, which makes it so when I pop up again and start offering it once more, then there's another, only about 750 or so people who are going, this thing is great. So thanks for joining that tribe. You
yeah.
were giving a bit of a comparison that you had done some other business training before, though, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the typical model is pay a couple thousand to then, in my case, $3,000 up front, and then a monthly fee. And, contrast that with pay once for much less, and you get, life access. So I think it's a much better deal. And I think the quality of the content is better because, you're one of the few people out there who is actually practicing what you preach. And, that makes a big difference when somebody says, oh, this works. Sometimes they're just thinking, well, it should work, right? When in reality, when you say it works, well, you've tried it and it works. So,
Yeah, as
that's
much
a
as
big
I live
difference.
by the statement that business is business, we are a wacky little weird category as hypnotists. And that for another business, I think you had a story around, there were a lot of leads coming in with something else you had done before, but they weren't really qualified.
Yeah, well, I had done some work around Facebook, and I was happy that at least the leads were cheap, but they weren't high quality leads. So when I watched your module on Facebook, it was finally like, oh, now I see how it can actually work, because a lot of people say Facebook marketing doesn't work. And when I watched what you did within the business systems, like, oh, now that makes sense how that would work. Of course, I want that, and I didn't have the problem when I saw the ad, right? And that's really the difference is um, it's what's actually been working, and you can see why just by watching it.
That's the biggest thing, that it's things that have actually been tested in this industry, in our field, and actually have brought me clients. And it's that game that, as much as things are going quite well with Virginia Hypnosis, there's that element of that human guinea pig. I'm still workshopping it, still playing with it and going, well, what's good? I was showing you a campaign before we hopped on, just to go, here's what I'm currently playing with. If it works, we're going to add it into business systems, just to show the stair stepping of how we can build that value for someone and then bring them through the experience. Are there any specific modules that you've implemented into your business and you've started to see a good result from?
Yeah, so the testimonial module is it's a ridiculously simple way of getting more testimonials,
Mm-hmm.
and then to be able to not only just to get them, but to be able to use them in multiple different areas. So that was a good one. I've just almost finished with the velvet rope strategy, and I'm looking forward to how that's going to automate. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's not so much about maybe parsing clients more. It's more about making it easier for them, because some people will want to call, but I like the way you have it set up where they click a button, because some people want to do it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to getting that implemented.
Which, the benefit of that too, that's where it does dip into some technical strategy. Yet if it is something perhaps like the Facebook marketing, you at least know what to ask for now. You know how to double check and see that something is going well. If we're outsourcing it, to see something is going right. Which, Dan, thank you so much for hopping on here with me. Any final thoughts for those folks out there looking to grow their hypnosis businesses?
I think the risk is very low to get involved in this program because again, it's just a one-time fee. And then, the stuff that's already in there can help you, if you're starting from nothing, can help you get those first steps and get your legs under you. And if you're more intermediate or even advanced, I see some of the people who are in your system and there's some big names in there. So, that alone is I think worth a lot to say, it's great for newbies and, some big names are in there using their strategies as well. So again, the risk is pretty low.